The sun filtered through the lace curtains of the house in Queens, casting long shadows across the living room where the echoes of the past seemed to linger in the very woodwork of the walls. It was a time when people looked back with a certain fondness on the melodies of Glenn Miller and the songs that had once dominated the hit parade. In those days, men like Archie Bunker felt they had it made, living in a world where the boundaries were clear and the expectations were set. They remembered a time when you knew exactly where you stood, when girls were girls and men were men. It was a period when the ghost of Herbert Hoover seemed more reliable than the changing tides of the modern era. People did not look for a welfare state. Instead, everybody pulled his own weight and found satisfaction in the simple, sour, and great things of life. Those were the days that remained etched in the memory of the household, even as the world outside began to swirl with the winds of change. Edith Bunker was in the kitchen, her hands busy with the familiar rhythm of housework, when she heard a soft sound. She paused, her face lighting up with a gentle curiosity. She called out, asking if that was her daughter, Gloria. A slight groan of discomfort came in response, and Edith immediately felt a pang of motherly concern. She told Gloria that she thought she had heard her singing. Edith asked about little Joey, hoping that the young boy had not given his grandmother any trouble during their time together. Gloria, entering the room with the weary but loving gaze of a mother, smiled at the mention of her son. She asked if that little angel could truly cause trouble. She admitted that he had finished all of his cereal, except for the portion that he had decided to throw on her. Gloria expressed her sincere gratitude to her mother for taking care of the baby, and Edith brushed it off with a wave of her hand, insisting that it was a pure pleasure. However, Edith's keen eyes noticed something different about her daughter. She asked what had happened and what the results of the visit to Dr. Shapiro had been. Gloria took a deep breath and began to list the findings. The doctor had said she was in excellent health. Her weight was good, her blood pressure was fine, and her reflexes were sharp. Edith nodded along with a series of happy affirmations, but the final piece of news stopped her in her tracks. Gloria whispered that it looked as though she was pregnant. For a moment, the kitchen was silent, and then Edith erupted in joy. She exclaimed that it was wonderful. Gloria tried to calm her mother down, telling her not to get too excited just yet.
It was not a certainty.
Dr. Shapiro had taken some tests and would follow up with the results, but Gloria felt all the symptoms. Edith could not contain herself. She imagined Joey having a playmate and envisioned the happiness of Archie and Michael. But Gloria was less optimistic about her husband's reaction. She knew exactly what Michael would say. She could hear his voice in her mind, reminding her of their agreement not to have any more children because they could not afford it. He would speak of the rights of a child being brought into an overpopulated, underfed, and polluted world. Edith told Gloria that she sounded exactly like Michael. She encouraged her daughter, saying that things would be different this time because Michael now had the experience of being a father. Gloria agreed that being a mother was wonderful, but the weight of their agreement hung heavy on her heart. Edith asked if Gloria was thinking of doing what she had mentioned once before, the thought of not having the child. Gloria immediately reassured her mother that such a thought had never crossed her mind. Her concern was the inevitable argument. Michael would yell, and she felt she could not yell back because, in his own way, he was right. Edith, ever the practical diplomat, suggested a strategy. She told Gloria to do what she did with Archie. She suggested waiting until she was absolutely sure before saying anything. Until that moment of certainty arrived, she advised Gloria to simply bring him a beer. Suddenly, the front door opened and Michael's voice filled the house. He announced his arrival and his hunger, asking if there was time to make a sandwich before lunch. Gloria, not ready to face the conversation, decided to head upstairs to lie down. She asked her mother not to say a word to him. Edith promised to remain silent. As Gloria went upstairs, Michael entered the room. He saw Edith working and told her that he did not like to see her working so hard in a house that was not her own. He asked where Gloria was. Edith, trying to keep her secret, stammered that Gloria was upstairs lying down after a hard day at the zoo. Michael was confused by her sudden awkwardness. He sensed a mystery and pressed for more information, but Edith tried to back away. When Gloria finally came down, Michael demanded to know what was going on. Edith accidentally let it slip that she had spilled the cat out of the bag. Michael was puzzled, thinking perhaps it was an anniversary or his upcoming birthday. Gloria realized she could no longer hide the truth. She told him she had been looking for the right time and the right words. When Michael realized what was happening, he was stunned. He repeated the phrase, "Oh my God," over and over again. Edith tried to reassure him that he was not upset and that he was going to have another little bundle of joy. Michael, still in shock, allowed Gloria to lead him upstairs to check on Joey. Later, the tension between Michael and Gloria erupted into a full discussion. Michael reminded her of their agreement about the state of the world and their finances. He asked how this could have happened, questioning if she had forgotten to take her pill. Gloria explained that it had only been one night, a night after a discussion about the side effects of the medication. Michael was furious, feeling tricked. He argued that one night was all it took. Gloria fired back, stating that she was tired of being the only one responsible for precautions. She pointed out that he was born with the parts that they needed protection from. In her frustration, Gloria issued a challenge. If Michael was so dedicated to the idea of not bringing more children into the world, he should do something about it. She suggested a vasectomy. Michael was taken aback, refusing at first. He complained about the idea of physical torture. Gloria called him a hypocrite, a phony bleeding heart liberal who believed in population control for everyone else but himself. Stung by her words, Michael decided to prove his love. He called the office of Dr. Marks to make an appointment. When Michael spoke to the receptionist, he tried to delay the appointment to the following spring or fall. However, Gloria took the phone and discovered there was a cancellation that very day. She scheduled him to arrive within the hour. Michael was terrified but tried to act brave. He told Gloria he was a big boy and could take care of himself. As he left for the appointment, Gloria thanked him and told him she loved him. Michael, feeling the weight of the moment, hoped he would still be able to prove his love after the operation. At the medical office, Michael met Dr. Dolby, a young associate of Dr. Marks. Michael was nervous, feeling out of place. The doctor, who asked to be called Ted, tried to put him at ease. He explained that the procedure was generally irreversible. Michael asked if it would affect his sexual performance, and the doctor reassured him, even sharing that he had undergone the procedure himself. Despite his nerves, Michael tried to maintain his resolve, telling the doctor it was time to boogie. Back at the house, Edith and Gloria were waiting. Edith shared stories of Gloria's birth and explained why she had been an only child. There had been complications, and the doctor had advised against more children. Gloria felt a wave of love for her mother. She began to have second thoughts about the operation. She decided she wanted to call the doctor's office and call the whole thing off. She wanted to discuss it more with Michael over dinner. Just then, the telephone rang. It was Dr. Shapiro. After a brief conversation, Gloria hung up the phone with a look of immense relief. The test showed that she was not pregnant. When Michael returned home, Gloria greeted him with love and apologies for the mess they had been through. She told him the news that she was not pregnant. To her surprise, Michael was not upset. He felt proud of himself for finally taking a stand on his beliefs about population control. Gloria felt guilty for making him have an operation he did not want, but Michael comforted her. He told her that he was betting on his life with her, and that was all that mattered. They shared a tender moment, reaffirming their love for one another. The house, once filled with the tension of the unknown, was now filled with the warmth of their connection. Archie's voice eventually broke the silence, asking about the meatloaf left over from the previous day. It was a return to the normalcy of their lives, a family bound by love, even in the midst of their many disagreements. And so, the day ended in the house in Queens, with the lessons of the past and the hopes for the future blending into the quiet of the evening.